Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we will be walking you through our outdoor recreation dashboard, a tool that will help you better understand how people in different regions access, participate in, and experience outdoor recreational spaces. We're going to start with the introduction tab, as you can see in the screen. The introduction tab basically summarizes what the dashboard is about, where the data came from, what was the survey used for creating the data, uh, where you can access the data if you want it, what is the dashboard structure, how you can use the dashboard, what are the different interactive features that you can play with, and we also acknowledge the help that we got when creating this dashboard. So moving on to how the dashboard is structured, as you can see in the left hand side, we basically have 5 different tabs that cover different questions related to outdoor recreation. The Access tab covers how close residents live to parks and physical activity facilities. The Participation tab covers how often do they participate in these kind of outdoor recreational spaces. The Mobility tab covers basically the travel distance. The Motivation and Barrier covers what motivates them to use this kind of spaces, or what kind of barriers that they are facing in using this kind of spaces or from using this kind of spaces. And the community context basically helps you understand the perceptions of neighborhood regarding the support to the importance of this kind of spaces and the satisfaction from using this kind of spaces. So let's start with the first tab, that is the Access tab. Now all of these tabs follow the same structure. That is basically you're going to start with the Abouts drop down menu, which will show you what are the questions covered within this tab. For example, in this tab, we are covering 2 questions related to access. The first one is distance to physical activity. How far is the nearest location for physical activity from your home? The second one is distance to any park. How far do you live from any state park, forest, or national park? Following this, you have the option to play with demographic filters. Basically, gender, to choose the gender of the respondents, to choose the race of the respondents, the residential location of the respondents, the age group of the respondents, the household income of the respondents, and whether or not they have a farm. Then we have a brief summary of the questions that we cover in this tab, and this is followed by the kind of plots that you want to see. The tab starts with the pie chart. You can change this to a bar chart. You can change this to a donut chart, whichever kind of charts you prefer. Then you have the options to either focus on one state or have a side-by-side comparisons between 2 states or 2 region. For example, right now we can compare North Central region with Northeast region, or if you just want to focus on one region, you can just choose the single option. This then shows you the question and the choices that the respondents had when answering that questions for the Access tab. Then we will move to the Participation tab, which again follows the same basic pattern. You can first of all see what were the questions the respondents asked in the Participation tab. One, the first question was related to visit to any kind of parks. The second was related to the recreation, or the how often did they visit these parks. Then we follow the same pattern. We have demographic options that you can filter based on what you are trying to focus on. Right now we're starting with a bar chart. You can change this to whichever plot type that you prefer. Right now we are comparing 2 states. You can either focus on a single state, let's say Minnesota, or you can focus on 2 states or 2 region. Then we have the questions that fall under the Participation tabs, and then we end with a state summary for the 2 questions that we asked in the Participation tab. Then we go to the Mobility tab, which follows the same pattern, but now we are focusing on the questions related to mobility. Basically, what is the travel distance to the outdoor recreation type of facility that they use? You again have the options to choose your demographic filters. You again have to have the options to choose the type of charts that you prefer. You can either compare 2 regions or 1 regions, and it ends with a summary for each of the options that the respondents chose, the top 5 summary for this question. We now go to the tab that focuses on motivations for using outdoor recreational space or barriers in using this kind of space. And you can see the questions in the About Chats drop down menu. You can again choose the demographic filters you want. This will basically give you the brief or the initial summary of whichever region you choose. Then all of these plots that you see right now are interactive in a sense, like if you hover over them, you can actually see the percentage of respondents that chose those specific options, and you can also download these charts if you prefer. Now we are gonna end this tab with a statewide map, basically the states that we covered in this survey, and the summary of their top motivation and top barriers that they chose when responding to these questions. Finally, our final tab is community context, which basically focuses on how does the community view the outdoor recreational spaces that they have. This has four questions, and you can view the questions in the about the charts drop down menu. You can again choose demographic filters that you prefer. You can again compare two regions or a single region, two states or a single states. Let us compare Illinois with Indiana, and again, all of these charts are interactive. You can actually see the percentage of respondents that chose these options when filling out the survey. We have four questions within this tab, and this ends with a state summary card that basically gives you the summary for the first state that you chose when you chose the states in the drop down menu. So feel free to explore this dashboard. We would love to hear what you think about this and if we can change this or if we can make this better. Thank you.